Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
Hello, my friends. It's Kristen, and I'm here with Christi Nix Bloomer. Hi, Christi.
Hi, Kristen. Good to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. I want to jump right in. Why do you think it's so important for all of us to want to make a difference?
I think it's almost innate to our humanity. There hasn't been a person that I've coached that hasn't said that they want to help in some way. And I think we all help from the areas in which we're the strongest and where we know that we've needed help.
So why do you think that's so hard, though, for some of us to figure out what that is? I mean, the reason I'm asking is we're all coaches. And when we get into our niche, that's when the magic really starts to happen. But we have to figure out what that part is. Why can that be challenging for people to dial that in?
I know I've gotten a concept from the book called The Big Leap. I think oftentimes we know our strengths, but I know typically corporate is going to tell you that you get lots of feedback and you get told that you need to be a lot better in all of these areas. And truly, if you lean into your strengths and know what those are, it may be uncomfortable and it's truly where you're going to provide the most value. So if I stink at Excel, I need to find somebody else who can help me do Excel, because maybe my best version of myself is always doing strategy and always being the visionary person. It's scary to say, I don't want to do that. And truly, for someone whose strength is Excel, go let them do their strength. Your strength is something else.
You're really making a great point, because I believe that when we are entrepreneurs, we try to take it all on, right? Like, especially as C.A.T.S, we're going to build our own websites. We're going to put up our own email marketing funnel. We're going to do all of our social media. We're going to connect all that tech. And what if actually the reason you chose being a coach is because you're a people person? You want to be in transformation, but yet you're now trying to wear all these other hats that aren't really in your zone of excellence. What advice would you give to all of us?
I heard a lady that I work with talk about, she was a C-suite person, and she said, somebody made me calculate what my rate of pay was. Let's say the average C-suite person's rate of pay is $300.
This is why we all want to leave corporate life, right?
Right, exactly. Because they don't know.
Okay, that's my assignment.
Right, they don't know what their hourly rate of pay is. So she backed into her hourly rate of pay. She didn't tell me. Anyway, we can imagine it's hundreds of dollars. And then she said, would I have paid someone to do this task that I just spent an hour and a half on? Would I pay them $300 an hour to do that? $500 an hour? The answer is almost always no. So I love that calculation, because when I get sucked into the vortex of my website updates, my email, and I think, holy shnikes, I just spent an hour doing that. Would I have paid someone an hour or $300 an hour? Not that I make $300 an hour. Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. And would you pay somebody to do that? Heck no. Then why am I doing it?
I mean, I feel like the light bulb is going off for everyone listening to this, is like, how much is your time actually worth? And if you're putting your time and energy into the skills and the zone of expertise where you inhabit, you're going to be much more impactful. You're going to make a much bigger difference in people's lives than really getting bogged down in areas where you just, that's just not your natural forte.
Right. Completely agree. I've got a sticky note on my desk that always says, is this the best use of your time? And I can tell you the last
That's
5
obvious.
minutes I just spent on social media the last 5 minutes, probably not the best use of my time. Do we need it sometimes? Yes. Do we need 2 hours of it every day? I do not.
So you walk between two worlds. You are an executive coach for C-suite women primarily, but you're also a coach yourself, owning your own business. What are some of the lessons from the corporate world that coaches need to learn, and vice versa? What are some of the lessons from the coaching world that executives need to learn?
I think I'm going to limit it to feedback today, and it goes both ways.
Right.
I know I can get feedback, and just as I was coaching someone earlier today, I'm like, and was that response, harsh criticism of something, was that proportionate? No, it probably wasn't. You made a little bumble. You had a punctuation mark wrong on a slide. Did someone need to blow up on that?
What?
No, they did not. Well, and it happens. And is there good information that you can get from that? Yes, probably. Might need to spend 5 minutes proofreading things before I do it. And we can't throw out all feedback. Is anyone's opinion of my tone, anyone's opinion of what I'm saying necessarily 100% goodness and 100% garbage? No. You have to kind of pick what tidbits you want to take, and with everything, not take it personally. Even if someone says you're the most awesome thing ever, you have to try to not take that personally. Saying, am I the most awesome thing ever? Maybe today. And is there always room to grow? For sure.
Oh, absolutely. I was reading an article recently, I think it was the Wall Street Journal, and they were talking about how there's a mass exodus of female executives from corporate environments. Do you have any observations around that?
From what I've seen and talked about and heard, it is that constant pressure. And from a book I just listened to, Deepa wrote The First, The Few, The Only, I think that was the name of it. And it talks about, it's women of color, but it's specifically women are trying to conform to what male leadership has always looked like. So we're told to not be too emotional. We're told we buy into the hustle culture, which of course the hustle culture is made more alive and well with the men who have their wives that aren't working and can support them. So we keep on trying to make ourselves fit into a structure that was never meant for us anyway. A female executive I talked to last month said, I'm just going to stop caring because the guys don't seem to care nearly as much as I do. And they're still getting promoted. They're sleeping longer. They're going out to drink when, I'm at home working on slides. They're like, I just can't. It's too much emotional energy for me to care and try to fit into a culture that was never really made for me anyway. So I love that. Got to toss out the rules.
That is such a profound observation, and what an interesting paradox, because we're asking women, we all care. That's part of being a woman. Like, we care about all kinds of things that maybe we shouldn't put that much energy into. And now we're in a work environment where we have to retrain our brains not to care. Christi, do you even think that's possible? Or is that just numbing ourselves out?
Well, and I've been talking for 10 minutes. Of course, I'm going to Brene Brown reference here. It's when you numb the bad, you numb the good. Mm-hmm. So it's so easy to think, okay, I deserve 10 minutes on social. Do I feel better after I've spent 10 minutes on social, or would I feel better if I took a 10-minute walk? I would feel better if I took a 10-minute walk. There's a phrase I use too with coaching, the call is coming from inside the house. I'm the one. No one has to tell me to do it all. I'm telling myself to do it all. And who's going to be my best self-advocate? I have to be that. So that means I have to walk away from my computer, which is why I have a seat behind me. Because if I'm here, I'm going to be working, and I'm the only one that can do that. And I know a lot of the times that I get women to do this is if they know that if they can advocate for themselves, it's going to help others. It's counterculture and completely true.
That is amazing what you just said. And I think that we have to remember that at the end of the day, we as women, especially, we have to be self-propelled. We have to have our own power established and anchored within us. We have to know what's true for each of us because we're all unique and we all have different things that, pull us forward, that motivate us, that inspire us. We have different strengths, but we have to know what those are. If we're waiting for some outside influence in some patriarchal office to define for us who we are and what we bring to the table, we're going to be waiting for a long time, and we're going to continue to be disappointed, numb, frustrated, and just not really making the difference that we can.
Agree. Completely agree.
So what's next for you?
I am actually going to start a master's program in the fall. That's what I'm going to do to start bringing.
High five.
Thank you. Yes, to become a therapist. So I'm going to do that and complement that with the work that I'm doing. There's so many things that I think we could enhance what we're doing with coaching if we can bring a few more therapeutic elements in there and really go a little bit deeper.
I love it. Christi, where can we find you?
I'm at inthearenacoaching.com. You can find me there. There's things that you can download, all sorts of things that we've kind of touched on today, books that I read. And the best place to find me is usually on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much for being on the Big Meow.
Thank you, Kristen. It's been a privilege. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.